Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the digital world. We're talking about the invisible architecture that powers literally everything you do online, from scrolling your feed to adding something to your shopping cart.
Think about it for a second. You tap a button on your phone, and boom, a little heart pops up. But what actually just happened? That simple, tiny action? It just kicked off this incredible, super high-speed journey. So let's follow it. Let's see exactly where that light goes.
All right, so let's dive right in. The best way to really understand how any app works is to think of it in two parts. There's the part you can see, and then there's everything you can't.
So let's break that down. First, you've got the front end. That's everything you see and touch, the buttons, the photos, the text on your screen. We can think of it like the dining room of a restaurant, right? It's where you sit. But then, there's the back end. That's the part you don't see. It's the kitchen, the servers, the databases. It's where all the real work, all the heavy lifting actually gets done.
And honestly, this restaurant analogy, it's perfect for what we're talking about today. So stick with me here. You're the diner, okay? The app on your screen, that's your menu. You make a request, and somewhere, that kitchen just gets to work. So now, let's go behind the scenes and actually meet the staff.
So, the big question is, how does your order, that like you just tapped, get from your table all the way to the kitchen? It doesn't just teleport there, right? Nope, it needs a messenger.
And that messenger is the API. That stands for Application Programming Interface. But let's just stick with API. In our restaurant, the API is the waiter. It's absolutely crucial to understand this. The API isn't the chef, and it's not the kitchen. It's the communication system. It's the waiter whose only job is to let the application on your phone talk to the program running in the kitchen, the server. It's like they're speaking a special, super efficient language that both of them understand perfectly.
And its job is really a simple but vital three-step process. 1, it takes your order, like this photo. 2, it securely zips that request over to the kitchen, to the server. And 3, it brings back the confirmation, like, yep, photo liked. And you got to remember, every single thing you do in an app, logging in, posting a comment, you name it, it's all happening through this little three-step dance with an API.
Okay, so our waiter, the API, has the order. What happens next? Well, it hands that order ticket over to the head chef. And with that, we are now officially inside the kitchen. We're in the back end.
This is the server. And in our kitchen, the server is the head chef, the brains of the whole operation. Now, it's not just a big computer sitting somewhere. It's running the actual application logic, the code that makes the app smart. So when your like request comes in, the server knows exactly what to do with it.
And what's really cool is that the server actually thinks. It doesn't just blindly do what it's told. For a simple like, its thought process might go something like this. Okay, who is this user? Do they even have permission to do this? Is this photo real? It has to run through all these checks before it does anything else.
All right, so our chef, the server, has approved the order. But to actually make the dish, to update that like count, it needs ingredients, it needs to grab some information and store new information. And to do that, it heads over to the kitchen's giant, perfectly organized pantry. And that pantry is the database. You can think of it as the app's long-term memory. If the server is the brain doing the thinking, the database is the memory where everything is stored. Every user profile, every photo, every single comment, and yep, every like, it all lives here, all neatly organized and ready to be found in a split second.
And this isn't a vague request. The server sends a super specific command to the database, something like, hey, find photo ID number 5872. Go to its like count and add 1. The database does it, and bam, the change is permanent. Your like is now officially on the record.
So let's put it all together. Let's trace that whole journey one more time, super fast. You tap the button. The API waiter grabs the request. The server chef thinks about it and says, okay. The database pantry stores the new like, and then a little confirmation message travels that entire route back, through the server, through the API, all the way to your phone to light up that heart. And the craziest part, this entire round trip happens in, like, milliseconds, faster than you can blink.
Okay, so now we know how it works. But let's ask the big question. Why does any of this matter? Why should you care about this invisible system? What's the real payoff for building a really, really good backend, a great digital kitchen?
Well, it turns out, it's everything. A strong backend is the difference between an app that feels instantaneous and just magical, and one that's slow, buggy, and just makes you want to throw your phone. It's what makes sure your shopping cart is the same on your laptop and your phone. It's what keeps the entire service from crashing when everyone is trying to use it at once.
And that last point, scale, is maybe the most mind-blowing part of all this. I mean, think about our restaurant. It's one thing for a kitchen to handle, say, 10 tables. It's a whole other beast to serve 10 million tables, all at the exact same time.
Just look at this number for a second. Over 100 billion. That's roughly how many messages a service like WhatsApp has to process through its backend every single day. That's not one giant computer doing all the work. It's a massive, global network of servers and databases all working together in perfect sync. It is an absolutely astronomical feat of engineering, all happening behind the curtain, and is only possible because of a truly world-class backend.
So the next time you tap that screen, remember this whole journey, this incredible high-speed trip through an invisible kitchen. And remember, this complex dance between the waiter, the chef, and the pantry, it's not just for likes. It happens for every comment you post, every search you make, every single time you log in. It's happening constantly.
Ultimately, the modern world is built on these invisible systems. This hidden architecture is the foundation for pretty much our entire digital lives. And as these systems get even faster, even smarter, well, who knows what they'll make possible next?